and I'm here to protect your butthole. Hello friends, my name is Hako and welcome to the channel. And her name is Lucy and you should build her. No, seriously. So a lot of people started playing Zenless now in the 1.4 or kinda recently. The game has made a lot of improvements throughout these months and it's recently gotten a lot of traction, so there's a lot of new players. And I've seen that a lot of people are a little bit confused. What characters should they build? What characters should they focus on? So from a new player perspective, let's take a little bit of a look at the roster and I'll give you my recommendations at what characters I think that should be building that are really good for investment. And my first tip would definitely be be very aware that your resources are super limited when you're starting out. If this is the first gacha, you will make the same mistake that everybody made during their first gacha. It is that they spread themselves too thin too fast. So once you start out the game, you will think that you're the king of the world. You will see all the denies you have and you will be like, dude, I'm loaded. Then you will go spending, then you will go shopping at the bunghole merchants out of the store. You'll be like, woohoo! Then when it comes down to get your characters from 50 to 60, you will find yourself selling your own butthole in very shady alleys. And I'm here to protect your butthole. So what I want you to do first is I want you to kind of take a team. One team, so consisting of 3 characters, and then kind of build around that team. And some of the characters I would like to see you put in that team, and now this, gonna be a little bit dependent on if you manage to get them or not. All the A ranks are a lot easier to get than other ones. We don't have a lot of them, and every banner comes with at least 2 of them rated up. So let's begin. My number 1 character that I would advise any new players to build is Piper. Piper is absolutely freaking amazing. I kid you not. Piper was the last A rank that I managed to get, and by that time I had already got the Nicole, which is also a physical agent, so I didn't think much of Piper. It was first when my partner said oh, can you help me build a team? I'm like, yeah, sure. I took a look at her characters and she's like, I want to make use of Piper. I'm like, okay, all right. Then I started looking into and trying out Piper, and and I was blown away with how freaking strong Piper is. Now, Piper is insane. Piper is a physical anomaly unit. What anomaly units does is that they are very, very good at applying whichever element that they are. So Piper being physical anomaly, she builds up physical anomaly on an enemy, and once she's built up enough, that enemy will explode by a big chunk of assault damage. So still to this day, Piper can clear any content in the game, especially if it's weak to physical, with kind of a breeze. And what's really nifty about Piper is that her additional ability also makes her be kind of a support. So every time Piper spins with her EX special attack, she gains 1 stack of power. If she has 20 stacks of power, all squad members' damage increases by 18%. And this is super easy to keep up, because you only need to switch back to Piper every now and then and do 1 additional spin, and it doesn't even need to be enough energy for an EX special spin, and you will refresh all the stacks. So once you get the Piper rotation down, you can have a constant 80% increased damage buff to your entire team. And that is pretty freaking nutty. And in terms of carry potential and just overall usefulness, Piper is the best A rank character in the game. Let's talk about the second best one. Second best one is Lucy. Build Lucy, goddammit. Lucy is super freaking good. She's super freaking goaten, and she works perfectly well with Piper. She actually works amazing with Piper. And the more cinemas you get on them, the more the synergy will rise in ranks. What Lucy does is that when she have enough energy to do her EX special attack, she will bat away a boar, and when that boar lands, your entire team will get a damage increase of 600. So every character gets a 600 buff, including her boars. So Lucy's a little bit special. She comes with 3 boars. I don't remember the name of them. I should. It's Grassy and something Grassy. No, shit. People in the comments, please correct me. I'm a fake fan. But Lucy, still to this day, is one of the most universal supporters of the game. And she's really, really freaking good. So if you're starting out these 2 are a little power couple. Piper, Lucy. And what's good about investing in these characters is that Lucy can basically be used in any freaking team we have currently. So if you go for an event character in the future, chances are that Lucy will be able to fit perfectly in with that character. But another character I would recommend building is Nicole. Now Nicole is an ether character from the Cunning Hairs. And still to this day, her grouping potential is second to none. So her EX special is that she shoots away a black hole, and that black hole just sucks everybody. And it is just something about doing this, like it is so satisfactory and it is so much freaking fun. And so many characters can, you know, make use of the fact that the enemies gets grouped up in like one little spot instead of being spread out throughout the entire map. And as of right now, either character are like very lacking in numbers. So having Nicole built has really helped me out throughout either stages. And Nicole is one of those characters, she will only like rise in power, because a lot of her kit is kind of wasted on basically all of the teams right now. But the more ether damage characters that we will get, like we still haven't had an ether anomaly, but I surmise when we do get like our first ether anomaly, Nicole is gonna be that character's best teammate, because she increases ether damage by quite a lot. And right now, the only character that really makes use of this, other than Nicole herself, is Yujuan. So Nicole is super good in like the current state of the game, but I do think that, you know, she will just get better. Another A-rank character that I would suggest building into would be Seth. Now, Seth is actually the only A-rank character that we've had added to the game that wasn't here for like the game's launch. I'm not sure why they're so reluctant to add A-rank characters, but they are. But Seth is a very good A-rank character, and he has a unique mechanic where he's the only character in the game that can actually give anomaly proficiency. And do you know what kind of characters make use of anomaly proficiency? Yes, that is right, anomaly characters. And anomaly characters right now are the strongest carries in the game, and it's not even close. Like, they are miles ahead of attackers currently. And so far, Seth has like worked perfectly, like slotted in with any of the anomaly agents that we've gotten so far. Like all of the top ones, say Miyabi, Yaindo, Yanagi, like they can all benefit off Seth. So I feel like investing in him if you're starting out is a good option. Now he also provides a shield, and if you build him stun, like you can build impact on his number 6, he actually becomes quite decent at like stunning enemies as well. Now if you started playing the room 1.4, you also got Harumasa. Harumasa's damage might be a little bit lacking compared to some event 5-star banished characters, but if you learn to play Harumasa correctly, and if you want to learn how to play Harumasa correctly, I have a guide down in the description that will walk you through the entire process. But Harumasa is an excellent unit. He is very skill heavy and he is a little bit tricky, but once you know how to play him, he is actually quite strong, and he's especially really freaking fun. And if you started playing off the Yanagi, or you didn't manage to get her on her banner, you are probably lacking a little bit in like the carry department when it comes to electric characters. So Harumasa really comes in and like fills a much needed spot. So if you're just starting out, like don't think that this is a trash unit just because we got him for free. I'd say invest in him, because he's gonna carry you through a lot of electric reliant stages, and there are a few of them. Some of the robots you will encounter in critical shield, they put on a shield, and unless you shock them, they are a real pain to like deal with. Another excellent character to go for would be Soukaku. Now I freaking love Soukaku. I love her to death. And most people will think that this little gremlin is, simply a support, but she is so much more. And Soukaku is an ice character. Ice is a very uncatered to element. Now Miyabi is on the banner currently, and if you gotten Miyabi, the need to build Soukaku, lessens, but even with Miyabi, Soukaku is still one of Miyabi's best teammates. So what Soukaku does is that she can provide one character with 1,000 attack. Now 1,000 attack is a lot, but the caveat compared to Lucy, it only applies to like one character, and it needs the character next in line. Now what is really good with Soukaku, and what most people, just don't care about, is that she can actually carry you through stages that require ice characters. Because Soukaku is freaking strong. She can be your main carry if you have decent enough supports to carry her up. When she enters her ultimate, she gains a 50% increase to crit rate for 15 seconds. And her damage is honestly nothing to scoff at. So I'd also fully recommend building into Soukaku, simply for the reason that we don't really have easy, accessible, free-to-play friendly ice characters. And once you do get these more like premium ice characters, well, Soukaku can simply, go back to buffing them instead. And I think that is kinda it. If you're starting out, those are the A ranks I would focus on. Obviously, there are some A rank. Obviously, there are some S ranks that are also good to build. From the standard banner, you might pick up Rina, for example. She is very good. She becomes a lot better at M1. And you might even want to consider building Soldier if you manage to pull her, because still to this day we don't have too much in the carry departments for fire. We're getting Evelyn coming very soon up ahead, so maybe hold fire a little bit to see if you get her. Lycon is still a very good stunner, very good at shredding ice defense. But if you're starting out, I would recommend focusing on Piper, Lucy, and Nicole, and this team of these three will carry you throughout the entire game, up until the very hard parts of Endgame. And by that point, you should have, gotten 1 or 2 event banner characters, and then these characters will, support those characters perfectly. And until you get a better anomaly character to buff, Seth will, buff Piper excellently. And as a final note, I kind of just want to say that don't be too worried about investing into a bad character, Because as of right now, the game has not yet to release a bad character. Some characters are worse than others, but it's not like, you know, certain gachas where, you know, some characters are just, you know, dead weight and they're basically useless no matter what. Me personally, I took a liking to Corin when the game was released, and if you look at, you know, any tier list or like Pridman or stuff like that, they will put Corin down at like the very bottom. I can still clear any content in the game with Corin. The game is on the easier side, and any character with the right amount of investment can basically clear anything. So I don't want any new player, like, you know, watching this video, looking at their, you know, precious Anton that they were kind of excited about building, but after me not telling you to build him, be like, all right, I guess we're not building you Anton. Instead, then I would advise you to go and build your Anton, because the most fun you will have in Zenless or any horror game in general is finding the characters that you vibe with and then, you know, invest in them. And just speaking from experience, there is a certain level of like accomplishment beating stuff with like off-meta disregarded characters that, you know, people don't really care about. It is almost a little bit more fun. You know, everybody expects you to, you know, clear Shiyu in 15 seconds with Miyabi, but nobody expects you to do it in 30 seconds with Corin. So yeah, everybody, I hope that this could help some of the new peeps out. If anybody has any additional questions about team building and whatnot, please feel super free to slap it down in comments, or join the Discord channel where we're a bunch of peeps that, you know, just dying to help you out with any Zenless Zone Zero related questions. Link to the Discord also down in the description. So yeah, everybody, thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, Hako out. And I'm here to like protect your battle.